Self-care sounds great in theory, right? But if you've ever tried to build a self-care routine only to abandon it 2 weeks later, you are totally not alone. The problem isn't you, it's that most self-care plans are way too complicated.
Self-care can be scary.
So today I want to talk about creating a self-care plan that actually works for you. Stay tuned. True story. I used to think that self-care, well, first, that word gets thrown around so much today, it is just nauseating. And my idea of self-care from all the videos I watch and TikTok videos and reels and whatever else is that I used to think that it had to look a certain way. You know, it was the bubble baths and the face masks and the whole Instagram vibe, right? But you know what? Sometimes self-care is just being able to say no to something that you don't want to do. Sometimes self-care is just taking a nap without guilt or learning to do things that aren't draining to you. Self-care should always be about what you need and not about what looks good on Instagram.
Instagram.
So what I'm going to try to do in this video is give you a game plan for creating a self-care plan for yourself. I'll tell you things that I do for my self-care, but just in a way of kind of helping you set realistic goals for yourself as far as self-care goes. Okay, so the first step in the game plan is choosing your non-negotiables.
They are absolutely non-negotiable.
These are the things that make you feel human and help you get through your day. So for me, one of my non-negotiables is making my protein coffee every morning.
I need some coffee.
On the back of that, though, is another non-negotiable of making sure that I drink enough water because coffee, unfortunately, does not count in the hydration department. Another non-negotiable for me is making sure that I make my bed each morning. It might not seem like self-care, but I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, when I climb into that neatly made bed, it is self-care for me. Another non-negotiable that I have is making sure that I schedule downtime for myself within a week. I talk about it all the time. I am hugely introverted, so I need time to relax and recharge so that I feel like a human. So, what are one or two things that you cannot function without? Let's start there and write those down. The second part of the game plan is making sure that you stay realistic.
You've got to be realistic, kids.
If you want to try self-care, but your life is already jam-packed and you try to schedule in an hour-long yoga session, chances are it's not going to work long-term. And I'm not trying to dissuade you. If you have time for an hour-long yoga session and that's your cup of tea and makes you feel better and gives you that self-care vibe, by all means, take an hour-long freaking yoga class. That's amazing. But if you don't, and it's not realistic to work into your schedule, maybe you want to try like 10 minutes of stretching a day, or even 5 minutes while your tea is steeping or your coffee is brewing in the morning. Maybe instead of taking a writing class, you just commit to writing in your journal each night before you go to bed. So be realistic with yourself. You don't want to go pie in the sky with your self-care plan. Keep it something that is manageable. The third step in the game plan is write it down.
Are you writing this down? You should be writing this down.
Whether it is a note on your fridge, an app on your phone, or if, like me, you create a freakishly detailed printable calendar with every little thing that you do printed on it. Is that weird? Is that weird that I do that? Whatever way that you do it, make sure that you are writing down your plan. Having it written down makes it so much more real. Plus, it gives you that added benefit of, well, two added benefits. One, of not forgetting to do those things, because remember, we're doing this to care about you. And two, to make sure that you feel like you're getting things done, like you're checking things off of the list.
So you can check that off your list.
The last thing is, once you have all this stuff written down and you have kind of your plan in place, make sure that you're not picking too many things to try all at once. So if you need to kind of step back and maybe add things little by little, do that. If you're good with the plan, what I want you to do is check in with yourself every now and then.
Self-check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Self-care isn't one size fits all, and it's never static. What is working for you this month might not work for you next month, and that's okay, and it's totally normal. So what I want you to do is regularly ask yourself, is this still working for me? And if it's not, toss it and try to think of something else that will work. Adjusting your plan is good. Adjusting your plan is wise.
Trust me, rabbit is good, rabbit is wise.
The key is that whatever you're doing, you are doing it with intention and doing it with a plan and making sure that you schedule that time to take care of yourself, whatever that looks like for you. All right, hopefully you found that helpful. The takeaway is that self-care doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to work for you. So start small, stay flexible, and remember that you are 100% worth the effort. No matter how you are feeling or how you are functioning at the moment, having a self-care plan, even the smallest self-care plan, can make a huge difference in your life. I'm curious how you guys look at self-care. Is there anything that you do for yourself on a daily or weekly basis that you'd like to share with people in our comments? I would love to get more ideas of what you guys do for self-care. We can help each other and get a ton more ideas, so comment below for me.
Because then we can all share ideas.
I want to remind you, I do have my cookbook out. It is Bare Minimum Meals, Comfort Food for Hard Days. I will leave the links below. It's available Kindle version on Amazon and as a paper digital download on my website. It is full of quick, easy, healthy recipes to help you through your grief journey, or just help you if you're feeling lazy or sad or unmotivated. Very quick, very easy is the name of the game. Bare Minimum Meals. I also have my book, Grief Sucks, But Your Life Doesn't Have to, that will help you work through your grief by sharing what worked for me. As always, I am sending you guys so much love and so many hugs, and I will see you next week.